All right, welcome to another episode of the Freezin NFC North Podcast, episode 70, 2023 NFC North Week 13 review and Week 14 preview. Homer and realistic point of views, always. And anti-hero Packers. Lions survive the Bayou, plus key Lions at Bears matchup this weekend. And we've got a lot to talk about. We're just kind of talking offline. Bears, Packers, all that stuff. But Lions, they are obviously the class of the division.
The toast
of the division. And I welcome you once again. Seventh letter. Where can everyone find you as we get started?
Man. Seventh letter 4 on X, Twitter. Same OG on Instagram and Facebook. And still on top of that NFC North.
Maybe not for long. We'll see.
At least another 2 weeks.
And I am NFLOutdated. You can find me on Twitter X. You can find me on YouTube. And you can find me sneaking up on those Lions.
Oh, poor guy. Bless his heart.
I am holding on to the last sliver of hope. Every team has to have hope. You look at this schedule, and if the Bears can pull it off this week, you never know. You just never know. But before we get to that, we can talk. Obviously, hopefully Craig will be on soon. I think Trevor's going to be on. So we have some Vikings and some Lions takes coming on soon. There we go. And obviously appreciate you coming back on, Chris, in the comments. So we'll kind of lean on you for the Packer takes. Appreciate. I feel like, Craig and the Vikings fans keep ducking us ever since, right? Ever since Cousins went down, it's kind of like, what's going on there?
Oh, they pop up when it was Dobbs season. Remember that 2 weeks in a row?
I remember that. Yeah. And then, yeah. Well, let's kind of get into a couple things. And obviously, Chris and anybody can kind of comment as we kind of, look at week 13 and week 13, we'll just start with your Lions. When you look at what happened, I was actually traveling back. I was at the Big Ten championship game in Indianapolis. So wasn't able to really get a chance to watch a ton of it early on, but, I saw was it 21-0 and it was like, okay, this is going to be a rout. Seems to be a pattern though. They have, get leads, really put on an offensive show, but then have to hold on. So first of all, hand out some helmet stickers for this game. And then second of all, talk about if you're worried for this trend or what are your thoughts are from this game in week 13?
Well, my helmet stickers go. I would give one definitely to Sam Laporta. He showed his ass this weekend, last weekend. And Jack Campbell played pretty good. Like, okay,
Iowa connection.
Yeah. Now you move that Anzalone off to the Mike of the Will. I mean, yeah, he plays well at middle linebacker. I liked him there. Also, our special teams player of the week. Germ played well, you know what I mean? He played really well this week. As far as getting out to the early lead, like even I knew, like I'm sorry, I just still believe in the Saints and the Saints having, they got world beaters over there.
They do, yeah.
Kamara's still a great running back, a great NFL player.
He's shown that he can beat a lot of people.
Yeah, he's a great player. When they put Taysom Hill in there, it works. You missed
the joke.
Where?
Kamara beating people.
Oh shit! Hey man, yo, they the NFL players, man. They're paid to be vicious, man.
They are. If you're a talented player, they're going to find a way to keep you on the field. It just that is what it is.
Man, we jumped up. It was 21-7, 7 minutes into the game. You didn't think they was going to come back? Their defense is too talented for that. I'm just, it was something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was a turnover. They had a quick 3 and out. They punted. We got down the field. I knew they were going to come back. That's usually what happens, like with good teams. We started running the ball. We let off the gas. We ran the ball. We had 53 plays. We ran the ball 35 times. You understand what I'm saying? So we trying to run the clock out, but they never had a lead, like when we had the score, we scored. Like I'm not,
Defensively, though, are you worried about the pass rush? Because it's really been a lack of the pass rush for the Lions, right?
Oh, that really once we put ugly man from the Seattle Seahawks in Irvin, like we got a lot of injuries too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else gets to use that excuse, right? Like
yeah.
Like we lost Garner Johnson. You know what I'm saying? We lost James Houston. Like that he had 8 sacks in 8 games last year. Like everybody get to talk about that, but we still 9-3. If you told me that I'd be 9-3, how can I complain about a win? How can I complain about winning? Like I can't. We lost those games last year. This year we're winning them. Like it's growth.
Yeah, in the fan and everybody wants you to win every single game, but it's just not going to happen. In today's NFL, there's too much parity, especially with injuries and everything like that, and matchups and everything. Some different teams match up better against teams. So yeah, it's not going to happen. But I mean, number one, just to have the comfortable lead in the division, that helps as well, right?
Yes, we're winning those games, man. Like I can't really complain, man. I really can't. I think a lot of us, we pocket watch. The hood, we say pocket watching. You looking at how much money somebody else got. Like we looking at the 49ers dominate teams. We looking at the Cowboys score a lot of points. We looking at the Eagles score a lot of points on people. If you look at the Eagles last few games, they was playing with their food too. They just finally got beat. The same way. The same thing happened. It's just that the 49ers never let up off the gas and they beat the shit out of them. If you look at the Chiefs game, the Chiefs dominated that game. They played last week too. Like people lose. If you look at all of Miami Dolphins, they beat the shit out of people. Look at who they lost to. All winning teams. They ain't beat nobody. So it's like everybody goes through this, but I think we're looking at everybody else blowing people out and like our 9-3 ain't shit. Like, come on, man. Nah, the Vikings ain't 9-3.
That's true.
The Packers ain't 9-3. The Bears ain't 9-3. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for rubbing that in for me. Yes.
Yeah, but we're winning these games. So I don't see what the problem is. Like, I really don't. Like, whatever. I'm 9-3. And when we get back, we should be able to get a pass rush again. It is.
Yeah, I think in the NFL, like you can find it probably pretty much any team you can find weakness, right? I mean, obviously you have the 49ers have a lot of talent all around. It's funny because, and maybe you're on the same train, people would still say Purdy is the weakness of that team. Yet he is the leading, I think as far as betting, he is the leader for the NFL MVP. How crazy is that?
MVP and they don't give it to Tyreek Hill. Like they tripping. They tripping.
I agree.
If you looked at the game, it was all just Debo doing Debo shit. He had 3 touchdowns. Everything was like a slant or like, come on, man. Like you can give. He's good when he has his pieces, but he's not beating no team by himself. The minute he lost them and his left tackle, he was regular. Regular. So get out of here. He got a whole bunch of arson on that offense. That's what it is. And he's not Aaron Rodgers. He's good. One thing about him, one thing you do have to give him, you could tell he studies. He knows the details of the offense. You know what I'm saying? He makes pretty good decisions for the most part because it seems like a scheme for him. Like he's not the MVP. He's playing well.
Hey, and the 49ers don't necessarily need that. But, kind of bringing it back to the NFC North, a game that I told you I just couldn't watch because I knew something would happen. But we have a quarterback in Jordan Love that's playing well and just really, doing some of the things that he needs to do. Did you get a chance to watch that game? And what are your thoughts, from what he's done? And then the Packers getting some interesting calls at home as well.
Well, if you look at the game, they got cheated twice on that drive.
The Chiefs did.
No, the Packers did.
Okay, the Packers got cheated twice. Okay.
Twice on that drive. You know what I'm saying? Now, the pass interference, that was clearly a pass interference. they have to start holding these refs accountable, man. It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous. It's like malpractice. It's horrible. They are. Sometimes they want to throw the flag. Other times they just clear that roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness on Pat Mahomes. That was like, what could you do to the quarterbacks? Like,
so yes, I agree, but I think where and obviously this is bear tainted as well, right? But you look at that and kind of the way they've been calling that, it seems that it was clear that he was going out of bounds, and the way they've been calling it is if it's clear that a quarterback is giving themselves up or going out of bounds, they're gonna, more times than not give the benefit of the doubt to the quarterback and throw the flag, especially, some of the star quarterbacks. I mean, wouldn't you think?
I would think that he should have been ran out of bounds. He wasn't out of bounds yet. He's trying to pick up more yards. He was right at the first line. This is the end of the game.
Yeah.
All you got to do is stick the ball out, and he got a first down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to contact him if he's running. He was running out of bounds, but he was trying to get a first down and get out of bounds. He was stopping him before he got to the first down line. Like, that's like,
I tell you what, though, I would say like the NFL protects their assets, and he is definitely an asset, right?
That doesn't make it fair.
Oh, I agree.
Right.
Totally agree, and that's why I had to tweet out to the NFL loves the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau, like the NCAA loves the Alabama Crimson Tide. Yeah. And that is
fucked up. That was fucked up, man.
Well, when you think about it, though, I have a buddy, a Facebook friend who is shout out to Commander Nash. He's a huge Commander fan. Mm-hmm. And he's been a Commander fan from longtime Commander fan, and he had sent just a message out that they are going to raise their ticket prices by, I don't know what it was. It was a good amount, and obviously when you think about it, the Commanders are a terrible product, right? I mean, they've got some great players, but when you think of overall, it's not a good product. But it's the NFL. The NFL can do whatever they want, right? Financially, because they can print money. I mean, and I think that's the tough thing. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like they've got to do something about the refs. That's the one thing that really baffles me. That why they wouldn't start to do anything about the refs, like hold them accountable for it. Because there's been a lot this year, I feel, right?
Oh, they do it a lot. And then do you see like lately now they've been fining people for blocks and shit at like 3 days after the game and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like little punk block. Like, what could you do? Everybody else gets held accountable. Why can't they? They have decided games all throughout this shit. Mm-hmm. All throughout this year. You know what I'm saying?
And I know Chris probably remembers the Seattle Packer game, the replacement refs one. That was
right. Like, this is what they acting like. It's that bad. You know what I mean?
It's getting there. It's absolutely
bad now. Like, come on, man. Come on. We're tired of it, yo. We're tired of it. Of it.
So as a Lions guy, obviously you feel comfortable. You've got a lead in the division. Was it like First Taker? One of the shows Dan Orlovsky was on ESPN. He said that the Packers are dangerous. Are you worried about the Packers now with this win, maybe going forward?
I think that they are what I thought they were at the beginning of the season. I knew that they had a lot of talent on defense, even though they didn't. I don't know. It's something about Barry at the end of the year. He does like
playing for his job, right?
Yeah, every time. Like it always like a click all of a sudden.
For his job. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the defense is finally playing up to its potential. That's the most experienced defense in our division. You know what I'm saying? They got the most, and then the rookie starting to play, Van Ness or whatever his name is. He had a sack last week. Like, so it's and now the second year players, the receivers are starting to ball out. Like, they got a bunch. Like, who the fuck is 19? Like, who is that? You know what I mean? They playing their ass off. So
they are, and I hate it here.
Schedule.
I hate it here. I hate it. I hate being at this point where, I mean, what, they're 6-6 now, and they're in the playoffs, and they've got a real shot to do something.
Yes.
And you look at that schedule. I mean, like I said last week, and I hated saying it, but it's hard to deny the Packers beat the Chiefs. 100% they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, even if it's just a 6 or 7 seed, I mean, you look at the Giants, that might be tougher. I know the Giants struggle on offense, but that might be a little bit tougher. And we'll kind of get into that in a little bit, obviously, when Trevor gets here as well. But you look at that schedule. I mean, Tampa Bay doesn't scare you, right? No. Carolina, week 18, I'm still going to call a Bears win in week 18. I'm calling. Here we go. Chris, Jordan Love is not afraid in that pocket. Yeah.
That's what this is what I said in our little group text. I said, I don't know. I think they found the future. I mean, the future for the Packers. The reason why it's just Jordan Love looks, the plays that he makes in the pocket. Like, I don't like hero ball. As you probably know,
that's why you don't like Fields. I get it.
Yeah, right. I don't like hero ball. Like, I know it's good, it's sexy at times. Like, Stafford was good at hero ball too, but he wasn't as athletically gifted, of course, as Josh Dobbs and Fields. But
wait. Did you just say Stafford wasn't as physically gifted as Josh Dobbs?
Josh Dobbs is he can run. He's mobile.
All right.
I wouldn't consider Matthew Stafford a mobile quarterback.
Okay, I get. I get it. Yeah.
But the arm talent, as a quarterback, he's, if you ask me, head and shoulders above them. Arm, still got it a little bit, even though he lost a step. If you saw that pass to Puka last week, look at my son, But he hero ball, it can only sustain for a bit. You hold the ball too long, you play against real teams that can get to your quarterback, you get sacked, you get fumbles, you throw interceptions. It doesn't sustain for long. And that's what Justin Fields is. He still holds the ball too long. I just think Jordan Love in the pocket looked precise. It is what it is, like it or not.
I know. I obviously don't like it, but what I think Packers fans should be, it's been interesting, obviously the ups and downs of the season, and, hearing Packer fans, obviously, when things weren't going right, kind of blaming LaFleur and everything. And, I absolutely would take him over, Eberflus, maybe even over Kevin O'Connell. I mean,
wow.
So, I mean, obviously that's
another good too. He's a good coach too.
He is.
A good coach too.
Let's see, Chris also. Okay. See, this is what I'm wondering too. I think anytime, and maybe this happened with the Lions, before Thanksgiving, you kind of get fat and happy, and you kind of get full of yourself. And obviously these players, they're not robots, they're players, they hear some of the noise and stuff, and what if the Packers are to lose to New York, and maybe the energy and hype goes out the window. And
I just don't think the Giants don't got nothing, bro. They don't got nothing on offense to even score on Green Bay, to be honest, other than Saquon. All you got to do is they got the Vito kid, bro. It is what it is. He holds the ball too long. He takes a lot of sacks. He don't turn over the ball much, but if you look at all the sacks he takes, the Giants have no offensive line. Their best receiver is Slayton. They don't got nothing, bro, to even threaten the Packers at all, man.
That would be. I mean, obviously we could get into that a little bit more when Trevor comes on too. But I mean, the Packers do allow 136.3 yards per carry, or not yards per carry, yards per game on the ground, third most in the NFL. And Barkley, he's 82.6 over the last 5 games, I believe. So, I mean, the potential is there, the talent is there. I mean, the Bears Giants game last year, it was just, they didn't have a quarterback. Tyrod got hurt. They threw Barkley out there, and they still were able to run the ball. Yeah. That was the Bears last year, granted, right? The Packers defense, I think all around is definitely better than the Bears. I'm just kind of feeling a little bit sick saying all these good things about the Packers. I rather sometimes defer to the Packer fans here and Chris here, sack lunch for Gary and Clark. Rashawn Gary, he's been playing great, hasn't he?
Balling out of his freaking mind. That's what bothers me. Like, Jesus Christ, man. He was giving us hell on Thanksgiving, yo. He was busting Taylor Decker's ass, man. So that's my problem with Taylor Decker. That happens to him all the time. Like, real good pass rushers always get by. If we don't run the ball with him on that side, that's really all he's good for. He's pretty good as a left tackle, but I've been Mosul over there.
If and we'll kind of get into some of the preview games, but I just want to get your take here. If the Bears are to exact revenge on the Lions this weekend, and the Packers continue to win, and continue that momentum, I mean, when you look at the Lions schedule, I hate to say this, but taking over the division, like, how crappy would that be? Aaron Rodgers leaves and they still win the division. How pissed off would you be?
How pissed off would I be? I would be very upset. Yeah. I really want to wrap this shit up, like, in the next 2 games.
I mean, we kind of everyone assumed that it was going to be the Lions division, but like, if they are going to continue to you look at their record or their schedule, obviously week 14 at Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Denver, they've looked a little bit better than they have.
Came down to earth last week.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, at Minnesota,
I am not scared of Minnesota. They perfect for us right now. They ain't got no quarterback. They perfect for us.
Yeah. Although
Minnesota, Dallas.
Dallas is probably worried about. Yeah,
that's it. Dallas got everything that can beat us. A mobile quarterback, wide receivers that can get open. Like, they got things that can hurt us. But I think if we start playing a more conservative defense, and like we did at the end of last season when we had those string of victories, like, we didn't play outside of the people we have. Like, we got Brian Branch now, but let's skip all that. Let's just play. Keep everything in front of us like we did, and we should be fine. That's what we have to do. I think that's what we're gonna have to do now because Elaine McNeil's hurt. So stop the run, punish people with our linebackers, because our linebackers just want to touch your body. That's all we want. We want to hurt something. Let them do that, and then we should be okay. I'm not really worried about them catching us. I think that we did enough, like we kind of did what the Vikings did. We got a healthy lead in the division. I don't see us losing out. We would have to basically lose like 3 more to tie with them or something. Like,
well, let's start with your first loss this weekend. But I'll give you the path to KG Chicago and Justin Fields this weekend. Obviously, you said Ali McNeil is out, and Ragnow is questionable, right?
Yeah, he probably won't play. My coach cares players, so he probably won't play. The Bears scored 3 points off of 4 turnovers last week against the Vikings. 2 fumbles before the end of the winning drive. Of course, he finally got them one. If we keep them in the screen game, I don't think that they're going to screen us to death. I think that what Flores kind of painted for us last week is how to keep that shit under control. Justin Fields is a dynamic talent, but I just don't trust him at all. Y'all stop running the ball as well as you did. I mean, barring him after Foreman's injury, you guys not really, running it that well anymore. I don't know what's up with Herbert. Maybe he's a liability in the blocking passing game. I don't know. But y'all got offensive coordinators that don't trust the players on the offense.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know. I think in defensively, if we just disguise the pressure packages and tackle, we should be okay. That seems to bother Getsy and Justin Fields a little bit. So I kind of learned a lot from that sorry-ass game last Monday. Like, I learned a little bit, The weather's going to be bad too. So That's going to be a lot of running, so I hope y'all can stop the run.
I thought it was just going to be cold, but I can check. But yeah, Rashawn Johnson should be getting more playing time. And I think, I mean, he really is the most complete back. And I think I said at the beginning of the year, you know, on either was on here or on another podcast, I thought he would get the most touches. And I think he is going to be the back of the future. Problem is, like, it's good and bad. Like, he runs hard. Like, I mean, and that could go to his detriment, right? Like getting hurt and not staying on the field. But man, those anytime he's like, he runs like full head of steam. And I love him in this game. You know, hopefully, here's the thing, like the Bears, when they're running the ball, their line has really started to come together better than obviously it was in the beginning of the year. So that's going to be the thing. Like if they can control the line of scrimmage and continue to run the ball and not get too cute, right? And I think there's the possibility there. When you look at the Lions, how crazy is this? And you probably know this. The Lions have allowed 26 plus points in the 4 weeks in a row.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously the Bears offense, I'm sure doesn't scare you overall.
Yeah, he got a running quarterback always going to bother me a little bit. Like they kind of keep first downs and they keep the ball forever. You know what I'm saying? Like they're dangerous. That's what bothers us. That's what bothers us. I don't fear Justin Fields' arm at all. I mean, sorry, bro. Like,
no, I get it.
You know what I mean? I just feel like you got DJ Moore. DJ Moore's getting open. I don't know why he's holding the ball so long. Like, I just don't. And Darnell Mooney gets open. You know what Brian Branch said? He said the hardest person it was to cover?
Mooney.
Yes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a good receiver. He need to go somewhere else too. He's going to die over there.
Well, he may actually go somewhere, but I'd say probably he's the hardest to cover because he doesn't even know the playbook. Like last year wasn't even.
Last year,
man. Yeah. So that's part of it. Yes. I think Fields does have that. But they said basically one of the biggest things that is Getsy, and what they've done is made him think too much on the football field. And I think when you have a young quarterback, let them do what they're good at, and they've basically just given him too many, things. And here's the thing, like you hear in all the press conferences, Getsy, will throw him under the bus, and that's, you need to be able to trust your quarterback. Quarterback needs to be able to trust the offensive coordinator and vice versa. But so I just think, I'm on this Fields revenge tour. I'm still on that.
I'm gonna get him to come to your house, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna bring him to you. Justin, this is your man. He is your biggest fucking fan, yo. That shit don't work in it. This is how he was in college. I don't know if you watched Ohio State games. He held the ball long there. He just had Olave and Garrett Wilson.
He did.
they NFL receivers. You can hold the ball there. That's who he is. That's what he is.
Yeah.
That's what he's always been. Like he was more athletic than everybody else on the field, so he got away with it. In the NFL, everybody's fast, everybody's strong, everybody, you're able to do a lot of things in the NFL, that you can with your speed, because that's still kind of foreign in the NFL. I mean, everybody's, athletic at quarterback now for the most part, what I'm saying? But it's still rare for someone to be the fastest person on the field at the quarterback position. And he's going to get away with that at times. But he got to learn how to beat people from the pocket. He has to.
Yes. Well, and that's the thing, I think, but part of it too, and we talked about from, the last game, is the play calling. And, when you have so many calls that basically your offensive coordinator doesn't trust himself, doesn't trust the talent that he has, and does all these screens, like, and finally he just let him rip it down the field. Obviously that was an ugly ass game, but he just let him rip it. And that's what you want, like down the field, like, trust your quarterback early on. And that's what I want to see at home. I want to see him trust the quarterback, because you go back to, I hate to say this, but you go back to with Nagy and how he looked with Nagy. It was night and day different. And obviously Nagy was not a good coach, but the things that he was that allowing him to do, he looks so much more confident. Go back, and look at some of that. I mean, even when they traded for the receiver who shall not be named, when they traded him, the first game with him with the Dolphins, I think he's disappeared. We don't know where he is anyway. So he's done. Even like just the threat of having a top receiver. Getsy finally did some different things with Cole Kmet offensively. And so that potential is there. It's right there. And it sucks that he just does not know, how to just let his player be his player. And it's when I talk about like Packer fans, and Packer wins, it makes me sick, but it even makes me sicker to say Matt Nagy did something right, because he just screwed up the franchise as well. So
screwed up KC again right now.
He is. Now I'm going to bring in someone who doesn't screw things up, who even though he is I think a new and improved Trevor. Welcome in Trevor, Rev Trev.
The Reverend.
Where can everyone find you? So
just Rev Trev K, Kempner Sports on YouTube. Sorry I'm late, but my son just scored 21 tonight.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's pretty fun.
Very good. And that's in basketball, I'm taking it, right?
Yep.
Very good. So
starting point guard.
Very nice. Very nice.
And
so we're just
how many
talking.
assists did he have? How many assists?
A number of them, actually. I just can't count that high.
He's Allen Iverson, huh?
He's filling it up. He wasn't I'm looking for my shot.
Yeah.
We're just talking about obviously everyone's favorite topic, Justin Fields, and how he can obviously has an opportunity this week, and just the offensive coordinators, and just when you look at with the coaches and the quarterback, they have to be on the same page. And we can kind of go back, talk a little bit more about your thoughts, obviously from the Packer game, because unfortunately, I've hated to admit this, but Love is looking good. I'm still, as you know, I'm still a Fields over Love guy. But
no, you're not. No, you're not. You literally said that Love is better.
You have, yes, you did.
We got proof.
Yes,
there's proof.
I've screenshotted that. Even if you delete it, it will never die.
Put up the receipts, man. Put up the receipts.
Overall, I still think Fields is more talented. He's thrown 4, but Love is in a really good situation. And obviously, when you look at what happened, versus the Chiefs, give us your thoughts from that game. I know you were pretty excited. So, obviously there were some penalties, things like that. What are your thoughts from that game?
Yeah. No, I thought what I really loved was the first half was beautiful. Like, it was almost perfect. Like, honestly, like 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. He looked incredible. Team was just clicking. And then the defense had 2 stops, causing 2 field goals. And I just thought, man, like, when's the last time we've seen that, right? Like, now maybe I don't even think in the Detroit game he looked.
Did you say week 1?
Yeah, no, a week before. The week before.
Oh, I was
he looked really good the week before as well. But what I'm saying is, like, as an offense, two drives, 2 touchdowns. That was really impressive. And we all know that Kansas City is battling for the top of the AFC. They don't look as good as they did last year. We all know that, but at the same time, they're very good. They're very well coached. And I was just surprised to see how well we started. And then I'm like, okay, well, we got the half, but can we finish? And that's probably what impressed me a lot, was the finish. Like, that first touchdown, he threw it to a tight end I've never heard of. Everyone kept saying, who's that? Pardon me?
Was it Kraft?
No, it was Sims or something like that.
Yeah, it was even like
I don't even know who that is.
Right? Yeah.
And so it looked, that's what they used him as the decoy. Kraft was standing right beside him. And then Sims goes, and it's like, wow, like, this is amazing. So I liked the way we coached. I liked the way we executed. I loved even the throw, like, okay, that 4th down and going to Dobbs. Like, that's just a fluke, right? Like he just skies it up, and it's like everyone's around, and it's like, oh my gosh, and that's just one of those epic moments that like you saw with Favre, you saw with Rodgers, that is like, wow, that like you couldn't do that again if you tried.
They call them love of the game throws.
Right. and I mean, credit him for going for it and doing that. But that pass to Watson in the end zone was spectacular. And then the guy that doesn't get a lot of credit, I think, is AJ Dillon. He didn't get a ton of yards.
He played good.
He ran hard, and he was hard
good.
to tackle. Like if you got 4 yards, you had 3 guys on him. I was super impressed with a majority of things there. So I thought overall, like, impressive win. Now, the problem is it's tainted. It's tainted because of the penalty. Now, I know that Packers fans are going to argue about him going out of bounds. And, like, for me, the going out of bounds is that he's in bounds. He's trying to get the first down. He's not sliding. Mahomes is not sliding. So I'm totally fine with him hitting him. Does he have to hit him that hard? No. But it's like, this is the NFL. This is not flag football. And that call made the other one possible, right? And so I 100% disagree. Like, you should see the hate that I've gotten in Packers groups. I literally posted what I post on Twitter. He got away with murder is my quote. MVS was definitely foul. Like, that was a penalty. Can't believe that just happened. Can't believe they didn't call it. Anyways, good for us. You know, and people are swearing at me in Packers groups, saying that I'm a fake fan. I'm like, you know what I've learned through this whole thing, and this is my last comment, is people can't handle the truth. They literally cannot handle the truth. Am I saying that our team's bad? Am I saying, like, what did I say? Everyone admits that was a penalty. And if you, as a fan, cannot admit that he's all over him before the ball gets there, you're biased or you're completely blind, right? Yeah. And so I'm just stating a fact. I sucks that they didn't call that, but it's great because we've had lots of those things go our way. So
now I know why you were coming at me in the group chat. You were taking out all that vitriol out on me, and I was like, "Is this a new Trevor? Is this a new Trevor?" Wow. Okay.
Well, we can talk about that chat if you want, because
y'all got to see the big homie black it out on that chat, man.
Oh my God. Oh yeah. I think
because okay, let's go there. Let's go there.
Do it.
So Jim Harbaugh's apparently going to the Chicago Bears. I've heard that for 4 years. And guess where Jim Harbaugh still is? Michigan. And this idea that Jim Harbaugh wants to go to the Bears, I'm sorry, he doesn't.
Well,
you want to go to the Bears, and I think that was the point you were trying to say, right?
Well, so you said, and this is where I took it. You said, why would he go to a crappy team? You said it was good city, all that.
Yeah, good city.
Now,
it is a crappy team, right?
We are
3 wins last year.
We are so close.
You guys
to
are
being
going.
6 and
you're
6.
trying to get the first pick again. You're good.
We're so close to being 6 and 6. Denver win and Detroit win. We'd be 6 and 6. We'd be right where you are. We'd be right where you are. How crazy would that be? Anyway,
that would be awesome. It could happen. Yeah. You got to beat Detroit first, right?
Oh, it's coming. It's coming.
Oh my goodness.
It's coming. But so here's the thing. I'm starting to kind of hearing things about Harbaugh as well. And the big question I would have about Harbaugh going to the Bears would be sounds like his relationship with Kevin Warren from the whole Big Ten stuff. So that would question, so who knows if he goes, but I went to, like you said, I went to the Big Ten championship game and I was talking to a lot of Michigan fans, had a chance to do that. And they are convinced he's going to stick around. I just don't think he will. I think he's going to say, screw it. I'm done with the NCAA assholes, right? I think I'm done with that. And I just think he's going to try to. I think the ownership is going to try to make something right because he had a bad exit from the Bears. It was just a bad exit, and so I just think Kevin Warren is smart enough that he's going to do something. And the big thing too is that Harbaugh he's pretty crazy, right? Like he doesn't eat chicken. I don't know if you knew that. He doesn't eat chicken because he says it's the nervous bird. So that's why he doesn't. So, but here's the thing, like he's crazy, but he wins everywhere he goes. And I just think that the NFL is that's kind of the next step for him, right? He just, and I know you say crappy team, but this defense, they're starting to show out.
They looked good last week.
And now we'll see. Obviously, if there's a lot that can still happen in the next 5 games. There's even talk that Eberflus may stick around.
Oh,
yes. There's a lot of fans that are starting to go that direction. And it sounds like Chris is saying that you almost became a Bear fan as well, Trevor.
I don't understand that comment.
Ryan Poles should hand in his resignation if that's the case.
I don't understand this comment. Sorry you went through that, Trev. Okay, thank you. You almost turned you into a Bears fan? What?
Yeah, I mean, maybe we need to have an episode.
I've been cheering for the Packers for 30 plus years. Hey. It's like
any time to come to the winning side eventually. So
winning side, wow.
Yeah,
yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
But I do like the way the Bears are playing. I thought the way they fought in the Vikings game was impressive. I mean, obviously not scoring a touchdown's hard, but you found a way to win. I think that's impressive. But that defense was really good. Like they were solid. If they can continue to play that, I don't know. Minnesota isn't great, but they're a playoff team right now.
Which is so crazy. I mean,
why they look so good, right? Come on, Trevor, stop it.
All right.
Cousins tried to act like Dobbs knew to teach him the offense and like really run real plays with him, and he couldn't do it.
He couldn't. There's a reason he's bounced around.
Quarterback, and that's why they had all those turnovers and only had 3 points.
So crazy.
4 turnovers, 3 points. That's what they did with us. All those interceptions, 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
That's
so I don't know. I just, when you look at this game, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier as well. And, and I know you're on the Jordan Love hype train. You're excited about the Packers, and I'm sure Chris is as well. Are you, if the Bears were to beat the Lions this weekend, would you say the Packers have a real shot of taking the division?
What's crazy is we have a shot to run the table.
Yeah.
So if that happens, which even if we win 4 out of 5, I don't know if we can do that, but if we could, then we would have a shot. But I mean, that says that Detroit doesn't not only lose this week, they also lose another week, and I don't know how many weeks they're going to lose. They're pretty good, so I like Detroit. I don't know if I'm all in on it yet, but I do think that they're a very talented team, and they do look like the best team in the division. So, but they got to prove it, and they got to keep winning games, and just like everyone else. But I mean, what I'm worried about is the disappointment. Like, if we lose these games, like to the Giants, are you kidding me right now?
Horrible.
Like, we can't lose to the Giants. We're not going to lose to the Giants. We're not going to lose to the Panthers, right? But we do play Tampa. They'll play us hard, right? And then, but then it's Minnesota. But is that in Green Bay? Can't remember. I think it's in Minnesota, and then we come home to play Chicago at home. But you know what'd be wild, Andy, is if that game matters. That game, wouldn't that be awesome if that game mattered, to both teams, not just us?
Yeah. Well, thanks. Thanks
right?
for that.
I mean, let's be honest, right? Like, it could be for both of us if you guys go on a winning streak.
Yeah. So let's see. At Minnesota.
That's gonna be a tough one. But I mean, again, Kirk Cousins isn't gonna be back.
No, and Jaron
But
Hall's
Jefferson's back this week.
Yeah, Jefferson's back. That I'm going to pick that game, Week 17, as a Nick Mullins game, and but unfortunately, from my side of things, He's actually the backup quarterback. He was in San Fran. He actually had, I don't know if you remember back in the day, how many years ago, he actually had like this crazy, I don't know, it was like a Sunday night or a Monday night game where he went off with the 49ers. Do you remember that 7th letter?
Yep, I do.
And I don't even know who
yes,
was against.
Actually, I remember that as well.
So, I mean, who knows? I mean, Kevin O'Connell's done a lot with Josh Dobbs. Who knows, like, if he comes in. But, yeah, I mean, when you think of quarterbacks, Minnesota right now, they're not scaring you. But defensively, Brian Flores can, do some different looks. They just don't have all the talent yet.
Yeah, and I think that at the end of the day, what's been the difference? There's been a few things that have been the difference. We've protected Love. We've given him time for 3 weeks, which is shocking to me. Like, how did he get time against the Lions, and how did he get time against Kansas City that's known for their blitzes, right? So I was very surprised. Like, our O-line play has been incredible. And then it's allowed Love time to do stuff. The other thing is we haven't taken a lot of bad penalties, and we haven't had the drops. And those things were killing us in those weeks.
Yes, they were.
So now that you have those, like, and I was telling, that's what we were talking about, right? Remember, guys?
Yeah.
Is after those games, I'm like, it's just so frustrating. You can't even get anything going because you're making the drops. So I don't know. I think there's opportunity if we continue to protect Love like this. We continue to not drop passes and key moments, and the penalties. Like, it's just that we're in games and it's fun to watch. Like, it's been so bad this year that I'm like, I've just been so angry. I stopped making videos. I stopped doing predictions. I was just so frustrated because I'm like, I know these guys can be better. To see the turnaround is absolute miracle. Like, it's like night and day what we're seeing. And it's just like, I'm just enjoying that. And it's not that we have to be winning, but we're there and we look good finally.
Well, and this is obviously without Jones, right?
Right. It's our best player on offense.
Without Alexander. Watson may not be there this week as well.
He's not playing for weeks.
Yeah.
He's not. Okay.
No, because it's a hamstring.
Yeah.
And look how long Jones has been out for. Look how long Watson's been out later. I'm not anticipating Watson's going to play for 4 weeks. That's just I'm not a doctor.
Nah, I had a hamstring before that shit. Boy, you can't open up. Like, he'll be a shell of himself,
Well, and that's his, down
that's
the field.
His game
yeah.
is like.
But can he be out there and be a decoy? Maybe, but I don't think. I think you just rest him. Like that Heath juke. Like, where did that come out of? That was unbelievable. I felt like we were playing Madden, and he hit the juke button, and it's like, what just? This guy hasn't done hardly anything all year. Gets the ball. It's like, wow. Like, there's a lot of things that went our way.
They're playing with a lot of confidence. You could tell.
Yeah.
They know.
I feel like the whole team is love is, and that's what, like, even you go back to the Raiders game, and like he was just throwing it to other people, and it just and this is all without their main out since week 1. Their main lineman as well. What's his name? Bakhtiari, so that's one thing. So, it's when you look at the Packers, I'm going to say this. I've said way too many nice things about Packers the last few weeks here. But organizationally, that's where, as a Bears fan, that's where I want to be. You have a star player move on, and you have some bumps in the road, but you're still 6-6. You're not 3 and whatever, 4 and 8. And that's been the problem with the ownership with the Bears, is they have just fumbled the ball in so many different ways. And the ownership, they just don't have the balls to do what's necessary. Now with Kevin Warren there, I think Kevin Warren has the balls to make something happen, hopefully, whether it's Harbaugh or whatever. But I've been, told that, but I've, seen that, they may actually go after Eric Bieniemy, which I'm not 100% sure on either. I think he's a talented offensive coordinator. I just don't know about his personality. It's almost like, is he going to rub people the wrong way? Because like he already started that in his first few press conferences with the Commanders that way. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on that as well. I
mean, he's had success, but like the point, like, and it doesn't transfer everywhere, right? It's either you got to be in the right fit. I do think the Harbaugh thing would be the right fit for Chicago, but the Bieniemy, it's like I hope so. Like, how many of those Kansas City coaches went somewhere else and then were awful?
We've done that before. The Bears have done that before, and I think Bieniemy is better than Nagy. 100%. I just, you think about personality wise, although it would be night and day different from Eberflus, who just, he gives speeches and players aren't even listening. Right. That's so, we'll see. So let's go through a little bit. The Vikings. Oh, I'm going to give you this one to you, seventh letter. So what is the path to the Vikings rolling out of Vegas with a W, since you are such a huge Raiders fan?
Oh, man.
Isn't that his friend?
This is a stinker. I just don't think that the Vikings defensively, they fun to watch on defense. Can't dispute that. I really enjoy watching them on defense, but I just think at the number one position on offense at quarterback, I just think that's going to hold them back a whole lot. And the defense is without the talent and personnel to fully really, really reap the benefits of that attacking style of defense. I think that with the receivers that Vegas has and O'Connell the quarterback progressing every week, he get a little bit better. They're getting Devontae Adams back involved again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that the Vikings going to come up on this one. I don't see the Vikings winning.
Minnesota is 3-point favorites. So are you picking? You're picking the Raiders then? Seventh letter.
I pick the Raiders.
What about you, Trevor?
Who's playing quarterback for them? Is it O'Connell?
I believe so. Yeah, he's actually he's played decent. Yeah,
you know that he has 1,194 yards passing. Jimmy G has 1,205.
Jimmy G is who Jimmy G is.
Why did they go with Jimmy G? Like, I know this is another
stay with Carr. They're the same guy.
I would honestly. I think Carr's better than both of those guys. Honestly,
yeah. I guess as a Raider, he is a bum. And he is. There was no time, even when he was moving the ball on us, that I was worried. I said something's gonna happen, and they fumbled.
Well, okay, so I'm with you guys. But I don't know. Like, I would not be surprised if Minnesota wins this game. It's just because they're both so bad. And the reason, the problem is Minnesota does not have a run game, right? But what are they going to do? They're going to throw the ball to Jefferson. They're going to be Kirk Cousins and look at Jefferson. And if he can do anything, if he's 80%, he's a difference maker. But the problem is, the Raiders, they have a running back. They have a number one wide receiver. It's just like, can you get the ball to these guys? And then Max Crosby is dangerous. He's very good. So I don't know. Like, I think the Raiders should win. Will they? I'm not sure. I could see the Vikings somehow. I'm not against Dobbs like you guys are. I actually believe in him a lot more than you guys do. But if they get pressure on him, oh boy, it's going to be gross. It's going to be gross.
Do you want to hear a fun sound?
What?
That is the sound of the Vikings playoff chances.
Yeah.
Okay.
If they don't beat Vegas, Cincinnati with Jake Browning looked decent. Right? I don't know if he just kind of had the game of his life.
They have a good coach too there in Cincinnati. He's another one of them good ones.
Zach, yes. Yeah. Taylor, yes. Detroit twice. Packers, the way the Packers are playing, there's a case here that the Vikings could lose out. Absolutely. And I know, I feel like Craig and Shelby are kind of ducking us, lately. But this is.
Craig. What Craig would predict that they're going 5-0 here.
Absolutely, he would. He's on the Dobbs train. Craig definitely is on that Dobbs train.
My boy don't even watch football no more.
I've kind of been that way a little bit.
He lives life to just shit on Justin Fields all day, like it's over.
Chris, this is hilarious.
Vikings had a dog. Choose the dog. Probably. Yeah, I lived in Minnesota for about 10 years, so yeah, I would probably. That's probably true.
But I do feel bad for their franchise because finally they had some hope.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins was on pace for 6,000 yards, and
yeah,
that just hurts, right? But like this is the thing is like O'Donnell, dude, you got to come and play. Like you're gonna.
Yeah.
This is if you played good for the Raiders right now and won that starting job. I mean, you got the starting job, but if you actually played, you're gonna make yourself millions of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
But it's either you just can or you can't play. Like how does Cincinnati's backup just like rip it up and everyone's like, whoa, who's this guy? You know what I mean?
Well, that's when you have at least a competent and a good coordinated offensive minds in the building.
They got weapons out there.
Weapons as well. Yes, that doesn't hurt. I mean, we talked about receivers, and we kind of went back and forth. Receivers, I really love obviously what the Rams are doing, receiver wise, with Kupp and Nakua. Obviously Nakua is just crazy good find.
And Tua Atwell, that guy's awesome. Mm-hmm. He's so quick.
Yeah, so he's pretty underrated. But yeah, I mean, when you talk about the Bengals are up there with the weapons, and it was interesting. Yeah, Craig talked about the Vikings having weapons. I like Addison, but I mean, he still has a lot to prove. And Jefferson, obviously, I think he's probably one of the receivers that is quarterback proof. But I mean,
totally,
yeah.
I don't know, Andy. Like, I don't know who's going to win that game. Honestly, my gut says. My head says it's going to be the Raiders. My gut's like, I don't think we can count them out yet. But boy, would it be nice if they lost this week.
So here we go. So this is, and we've been missing Viking Dave. Kind of jettisoned him off, for his ridiculousness. But looks like Purple Rain is on tank mode too, right? You kind of up and down. So Purple Rain here is on tank mode for Jaden Daniels.
LSU quarterback.
LSU, yeah.
Oh, you mean like to draft?
Yeah. So
no. You don't need to worry about it. In the 5th round, you guys picked a quarterback. His name's Hall. I've never seen the coaching staff be so excited about a 5th round pick before in my life.
I have
his NFC North flag.
They said another quarterback was better than Justin Fields that ended up on the Cleveland Browns practice squad.
Right.
So yeah. So the Vikings, I lived in Minnesota for 10 years, and going to some of the games, and that the horn is just it's god awful. I mean, it's not as bad as the Go Pack Go. That's got to be the worst thing, as a non-Packer fan, right?
What is a Packer, anyways, right?
Right.
AvgCheese, like I don't really understand, but we keep winning, so who cares?
Purple Rain's nephew plays on LSU. Jaden Daniels, and maybe he has a little bit more insight on Jaden Daniels. That quarterback class, so obviously the Bears are going to be up there, because of the Panthers, not because of their pick, because the Bears run the table. But that quarterback class, I just don't know. If I want, Jaden Daniels is going to be, I think will be a good player. But it's just hard to know. I hope the Bears actually end up, trading back and getting a bunch of players, because they still need a lot of players to really kind of be where the Lions are, and unfortunately where the Packers are. Yes, I said it. So are you, Trevor, are you picking the Raiders or the
I'll go with the Vikings this week just to be different. I'll be cheering for the Raiders, but I'm going to be I think the Vikings somehow pull it off.
I'm going to say like the Vikings are going to just do a Viking and just kind of like the ship's going to sink. I feel like the Raiders.
Is it in Vegas?
Yes, I believe so. Yes.
I don't really mean nothing.
Yeah, it isn't. Yeah, it really doesn't. I
can't pick against the Raiders. I'm sorry, I got to switch.
All right, so you're going with the Raiders? Yeah,
the best jerseys and helmets in the league.
It's up there, yeah. And so
and
when
I
we
love
look
the
at,
Bucs Adams too much.
let's go through a couple games real quick too. We didn't kind of go predictions. So, seventh letter. You're obviously going with your Lions, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go for the Lions, man. I think
absolutely.
I think that it'll be a little bit more convincing this time.
Really?
Yeah, it wasn't really convincing last time. It was just
it wasn't very convincing last time, but I don't, like I said, I just don't see Jared Goff throwing 3 interceptions this time. I promise you, I don't think that'll happen again.
All right.
I just don't. Like, I think even at halftime, y'all kind of outplayed us and y'all still were losing at halftime.
Yes, I was thinking the exact same thing. Yeah, you messaged me that. Yes, all this for just yes. I was pissed off. Yes,
I was losing my mind and we still had the lead, but I knew that we were playing below and turning the ball over, and that kills us. That's how we lose most of our games, when we turn the ball over, and hopefully we learn from it.
I am obviously going with my Bears. It's a get right game, and this is going to get us right back on that trajectory. So to break the tie, Trevor, where are you going? Lions or Bears?
Well, I actually think the Bears are going to put up a fight. So, but because of what we always talk about at the end, I think Justin Fields is very good until the end. He fumbles or turns the ball over at the end, and if he doesn't do that, like, you got a chance to win that game there. But I don't think it's going to be convincing. I think I'll be down to like a 3 or 7 pointer, and I'll go Detroit.
All right, yeah.
Andy, that don't bother you, bro? Like that when he turns the ball over at the end? Like it just you just
that's a good question.
Yeah, I was, that was the first probably crack in my Justin Fields little cape that I have.
It happens a lot, man. A lot.
Yes, so that was part of it, but it's just hard when you have an offensive coordinator that already doesn't trust him, because we had that with Nagy, and you just hear all of those things. So it's hard. Like, yes, there are some deficiencies and that stuff happens, but he showed that he could take accountability, and that was one of the things he came out and he said, I can't do those fumbles, right? He didn't, throw it on anybody else. So I like that part of him. And what kills me is he has the talent, and it's just like the Bears are going to Bears this thing up, and they are going to trade him, and he's going to ball out for Atlanta or, God forbid, Minnesota. I mean, watch. Oh my gosh. As much as if this would happen, I would love to definitely have Craig on as much as possible. What happens if Justin Fields ends up on Minnesota?
I don't think so.
He would lose his damn mind, right?
Oh, we would love that.
Oh, that would be like box office,
Yeah.
That would be the best ever.
Keep him there. He gonna throw to us and fall. He gonna set the Vikings back 3 more years. Like,
no.
Well,
so
maybe he plays better there. I don't know. At least he's protected.
That's the thing.
And all too long. It's his game, Trevor. That's his game. That's how he played at Ohio State. He holds the ball. He flashes. He's a flasher. He's one of the
He's good.
He had 2 back-to-back 4-touchdown passing games. So
that's it.
Then he got hurt, right?
You can't say that, yo. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. He had 2 foot, and after that, he was pretty pedestrian. Pretty much.
Well, because he got hurt.
He came back. He played against us. This is his first game back. We kind of didn't know how y'all was going to use him, because y'all always used him wrong anyway. So
he was balling out that game.
He did. We just didn't know how y'all was going to use him. Y'all never used him the right way. So y'all used him properly.
Was he not balling out, though?
He played, but he was the best player on the field.
There we go.
The best player on the field.
Yeah.
For 56 minutes.
Unfortunately, with the Bears' history, I have to take that. The Bears are Super Bowl more.
I told you I was looking at Bob Barry, man, and I'm like, damn, I remember when he had more yards than Emmett that game. Like,
oh my gosh,
like, and that's my Super Bowl. Barry Sanders is better than Emmett. Like, that's all I got. That's all I got.
Oh, wait, here we go. All right, Purple Rain. Oh, I think I found a new best friend. Purple Rain, 27-24 Lions.
We missing Ragnow and McNeil. Like, it can happen. Now we can lose.
There's one point that I forgot to bring up, seventh letter, that I think is the number one absolute key to this game that absolutely nobody's talking about. All right. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
The Lions have signed Kindle Vildor from their practice squad.
Mm-hmm.
Former Bear, and he is going to bears up the Lions this weekend.
Yeah,
he's terrible.
We need it for special teams.
He's terrible. He's terrible. So that's.
But we're not really okay. So we're talking about Justin Fields that way, but isn't the last two games Jared Goff been ending the games like Justin Fields has?
Oh,
like he's turning the ball over and stuff. Is that
the last game? Hold up. The last game, Jared Goff won the game.
Okay.
On 2 long third down
right.
for that last drive.
Jared Goff. So it's the 2 games before that, what we're talking about.
Before that, Jared Goff had 2 bad games.
Against the Packers, right?
Yeah. He had a bad game against the Packers. He had a bad game against the Bears.
Seventh letter. He had won
that game for the Bears, and then he won that game at the end for the Saints.
He had one job, seventh letter. One job.
Beat the Packers.
Shut the Packers up. He couldn't even do that. Like, now this is just
no. So
it's
now
out of hand. It's crazy now.
It wasn't
Packer fans are out of hand.
It wasn't a fluke. It was not a fluke. I'm telling you, Jordan Love win the God mode. You can't stop it when a person's hot. Like, he played his ass off again. He did it again. So it wasn't us. He just on fire now.
You know what's interesting, and I know, Trevor, you said the Bears are a crap team. I know it's out there. It's on tape.
I stand by that.
Yeah. I figured you would.
Until you prove me wrong. I mean, come on.
All right. Well, when you look at this division, look at all these close wins and losses. People aren't being blown out other than week 1.
Right.
Granted.
Yeah, everyone has a bad week.
Yeah, the defense is keeping you guys close. The defense, not the offense. The defense is playing a lot better. It ain't the
absolutely,
which is good.
Offense was keeping the game close. If you had an offense, you'll have blowouts.
Yeah. I am 100%. And that's the frustrating thing. I think when you look at this team, is Eberflus is a hell of a defensive coordinator.
Yes, he is.
But you can't fire him because there's nobody to promote, since they already fired their defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. So if they find somebody who can run that offense or run that defense, and then find an offensive coach, whether it be Harbaugh or whatever, then they'll have something. But that's the problem. Yes. So and that's why there are some Bears fans that are really trying to keep the continuity alive. Like, if you keep Fields, then you keep Eberflus and maybe get some type of offensive coordinator. But that's what the Bears have always done. And it's pisses me off. Like, it's like, I mean, it's Christmas time, right? And we're, buying Christmas presents and stuff. And you kind of look at some different, things, electronics or whatever, but you can always tell the price tag on some of these things if they're knockoffs, right? And you look at them like, and I've done this before. I bought I think I ended up buying one year, a Fire tablet. I'm like, oh, hey, that's a pretty good price, right? It's junk. It's absolute junk. Absolute junk. So I'm like, a few years later, I went with an iPad because it was the real deal. Right. And that's been the problem. The Bears have not been willing to do what it takes to win, to do the real deal. And unfortunately, the Lions have done that, with the complete rebuild, with having a coach that's going to bite kneecaps off and really change the culture. The Packers have been willing to do that with, getting rid of their just weird quarterback, getting rid of him and going with a new guy and just saying, let's sling it. Let's see what we have. And the Vikings have even been willing to do that with the defensive coordinator, to say, we don't have the talent, but we're going to, they swung with Brian Flores. And if they didn't have Brian Flores, Like if they didn't have him, they would not be in. They'd be like 1 and whatever right now, right?
Right.
So, so yeah, I that's the frustrating. That's my rant about the Bears.
Kneecap biting. That's about what I kind of feel inside, but because of the injuries, I'm gonna make it a 7-point game. But I kind of feel that way too.
Really?
Yeah.
Come on, man. You're losing confidence in your team, bro.
No.
I feel like you think I'm different.
No. I just
bring back the other Simmons letter. What have you done with him?
I just think that I know my team. Okay, I know my team, and I know like we have injuries in 2 very important parts of our the interior of our offensive line and our defensive line. So there's an opportunity for some interior pressure on Jared Goff that could probably make us do the screen thing that I hate. I hate screen plays with my passion. I hate them, but hopefully, Graham Glasgow is a good run. He's a road grader. So if we can run the ball on them, I think we can have some success.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up that name. So when I went to the Lions training camp, how you kind of along the training camp, everybody kind of waits for the players to come and sign autographs, and they were fantastic. Jack Campbell came and signed and everything. We had these random guys that were all about Graham Glass now, and they were yelling, and they're like trying to get all of us grouped there to yell his name, and he's just kind of this random player, right? But
that's our baby. That's our son.
He's a solid player.
Yeah, that's our kid. He came from Michigan. We drafted him. Then he went and signed with the Broncos, and he came back because he wanted to be with his friends.
Yeah,
that's why he came back. Like he was good for us then, but you know how my man Fat Boy do. Fat Boy let him walk. So
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, they let him walk. But he was one of our best offensive linemen, and we let a good guard go.
Well, it's been a fun episode. Obviously, we touched on some interesting issues, and I am ready for this Packer Love Fest to be done. I am actually, Trevor, I'm going to go ahead and pick the Giants this week.
No, you're not.
I am.
You're not. No, dude. I get it. I get it. You want the clicks. I get it. But come on, you don't actually think they're going to win. Listen, let me help you here. Okay? Cowboys beat the Giants 40-0. 40-0. Okay? Giants come back, beat the Cardinals 31-28. Okay. 49ers crush the Giants. The Seahawks 24-3. Dolphins 31-16. The Bills had a terrible game, 14-9. Okay? They beat the Commanders, dude, 7-14. Mm-hmm. They lost to the Jets by 3. They got hammered by the Raiders 30-6. The Cowboys come back and beat them 49-17. Okay? The Giants all of a sudden turn into the best team in the league and beat the Commanders 31-19. And then the Giants win the beautiful game against the Patriots 10-7. And you think for 1 second they're going to win that game. Come on. I know what's happening right here. There's no way. Like, you've just crowned Jordan Love as good finally. You've said he's the best quarterback in the NFC.
No. NFC North. We'll get there. Yeah.
Sorry, NFC
North. don't crown him as the best.
Sorry, my bad.
Slow down. Slow your roll there, buddy.
My roll. But I know. Okay, so what about the Giants scares you? Barkley can run the ball, and
that's it.
I can't tell you another thing. Their defense isn't as good as they were last year.
Thibodeau is a bad man. So the main thing, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, Packers are allowing 136.3 yards per game on the ground, third most in the NFL. Saquon Barkley,
like every year.
Barkley is a stud, 82.6 over the last 5 games. Now they're struggling with their quarterback. Obviously, Danny DeVito's son is, they're struggling to score points. But I just, and yes, this is part of the Homer part of me. I'm going to say with that defense, I'm going to say the Giants. It's at it's in New in New York or in with New Jersey, I guess technically.
Yeah.
Jordan Love has a hard time on the road. 17-10 Giants.
Dude,
No, 17-13 Giants. We'll say
Listen to me.
17-13.
Last week, I told you all that the Bears are going to beat the Vikings. I told you all that.
You did.
There was another guy who said that because he picks the Bears every week. I am realistic. I am realistic. I even picked teams. I thought we were going to lose last week, Kansas City. So I'm just going on record saying this is crazy. This is nuts.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
I don't know. Like, why can't you just say, like, I picked the Bears to beat the Vikings and we were right, Andy? Why can't we just get along for another week?
Oh,
be honest.
We always get along. Come on, you've got some
what
great
I'm
takes.
saying is, like, let's keep this going. Let's keep the winning streak going. Like, you have way too many losses in our predictions. Okay, you need to keep the winning going. If you were like sitting there and this mattered, there's no way you're picking the Giants. I think it's because you just don't like the Packers. I think that's what.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'll admit that. When you
okay, but how did they lose? Like, honestly, so they can't stop the run.
Correct.
We couldn't stop Pachenko.
Well, yeah, but you did have the refs on your side.
They had
New York refs are not going to be on your side. So this is going to swing back when everybody on social media, everybody is talking about the refs. The eyes are going to be on the refs, and now they're not going to be able. They're not going to have Lambeau calls. So
I just don't think the Giants have got nothing for the Packers. They can't score, and they get and DeVito takes 3 sacks. Like, I can see Gary having like 3 sacks this week, easy.
Yeah, I can see that, and I think and
they have no offensive line at all.
Here's another thing, Trevor. Now, obviously, when you look at it, I think sometimes teams get full of themselves and beat the Lions, beat the Chiefs, and it's easy to have a letdown. I mean, like we talked about, these players aren't robots, and things catch up to them, And this is so they played on Monday night, right? And is this a Sunday? This is no, okay. So they played on Sunday, and this is a Monday Night Football game. We've seen weirder things happen on these night games when players are out of their rhythm, out of all this stuff. So do I think it's likely that the Giants beat the Packers? No. Okay, I will admit that. I think it is possible, though, that the Giants can do something and kind of start to kind of expose a little bit of, because when you look at the Packers, I mean, you have to admit that they're not a complete team, correct?
No, of course not. I mean, 6-6 that you can't.
Correct. And so, obviously when you look at, Jordan Love, he has really shown that he can do a lot of great things. So I'm sticking with my Giants pick. If I lose, I lose. But I win, hey, I'll be like the guy. There was a guy in a fantasy football league that told me at the beginning of the year that Daniel Jones was going to be in the MVP conversation.
Wow.
If he was right, man, he'd be money. So if I'm right on this pick, it's money. It's money. I'm gonna go put.
I don't even see a path. Like, I can't even find a path.
Oh, I found one.
I can't. How?
Okay, so when they played the Commanders 2 weeks ago, so they're on a 2-game winning streak, right? All of a sudden their season's turned around. DeVito was 18 for 26, 246.
Yeah.
3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Barkley had 83 rushing yards, but he also had 4 catches for 57 and 2 touchdowns. So what's he doing? He's just passing the ball to Barkley and saying, "Go do the work." And that's smart, right? But what do you think the Packers are going to do?
Watch Barkley.
The Bears. Well, The Bears tried to do that last year, and he still got his yards.
He's good,
but
though,
do you trust your secondary?
Well, and I think, is Alexander going to be back now?
But their secondary's playing great.
I know.
They're playing great.
I mean, Kelsey,
Valentine, they all playing good. All of them.
I know, shocking. No Douglas either, which is
right. They're all playing good. All of them. I can't even hate. Like, the pass rush is getting home, so they're not on the island for a while. Like, they playing great. They might can't stop the run, but they get off the field, they get sacks. Like, I don't know, man. They looking like I thought they would look in the beginning of the season.
I see what you're trying to do. But I'm sticking to it. I'm sticking to it.
All right, man. I say the Green Bay Packers 31-3. I don't even see them.
Whoa.
I don't even see them scoring.
No.
Yeah.
I don't even see them scoring.
I haven't thought about the score.
You just spending all your time trying to convince me. I get it.
No, that's exactly what I'm doing.
This happened last year, yo.
I just know deep down inside that you actually believe the Packers going to win. If you actually put money down on this, or if this had your life was on the line, there's no way.
Didn't I pick the Packers last week?
If you were going to win, you needed to win those pick'em pools. There's no way you're picking the Giants to win that. If something was on the line for that.
The Giants and the Jets are some of the worst football you can possibly watch on television. The Giants and the Jets and the Panthers are the worst teams to watch. Oh, the Titans too. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Chris, come on. That's not
Chris,
nice.
That's awesome.
Lies and hate.
Is that from Elf?
I don't know.
That was awesome. You said
not lies and hate, but
throne of lies.
Jealousy and frustration, yes. I wish we could fire the owner. Absolutely. But yes, there's definitely, unfortunately, some jealousy. We talked about that, and I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to stick to my Bears prediction. Bears are shocking the world this week. Giants are shocking the world. I'm sticking to it.
And you're picking the Raiders too. So you're picking against everybody in the division.
I am. Dang it, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna have a Sunday. I'm gonna have a football weekend that I can enjoy.
Oh boy. Come
hell or high water. It's gonna happen.
Just so you guys know, Monday night, I'm not dodging you. I'm coaching my daughter's basketball team, and it goes till 8 p.m. Pacific time, which NFL Monday Night Football games usually go 8:30. I will be watching it after. I will comment after the game's done on my time, but I'm not anticipating us losing. It's going to be glorious. I'm just saying. Is it MetLife? Is it still inside, or is it outside still too?
And they even try to cheat and open up the doors so it'd be real windy. It's crazy.
Well, if it snows, then all of a sudden it's oh crap, we're gonna lose for sure. Right?
Remember when the Giants were had all this momentum beginning of the year?
What moment?
I don't.
We thought that they were gonna be good. Yeah, because
Oh, you mean No. I remember. Well, a lot of people. That's why it was shocking. They were a playoff team last year.
Well, they've won a lot of close. They had a favorable schedule last year.
Yeah.
And they beat y'all, I think, right?
They shouldn't have.
They beat the Packers last year.
Oh yeah,
that was the Jets. One of them.
I don't remember.
Favorable schedule though. They were a little bit worse than their record, because I knew when we played them, I'm like, they don't really have nothing to really beat us with. They were 6-3 at the time, 6-2 or something.
Chris breaking out the Vince Lombardi. Wow, nice stuff there. Giants had a hard time with the Giants of Vince Lombardi days, bringing it back.
Well, the Giants usually, when they had Eli, they played well against the Packers. Yeah, they did. They did. Matter of fact, when Aaron Rodgers won the MVP that first time after y'all won the championship, they shut the Packers out in Giants Stadium, I think. In Green Bay.
Oh, wasn't there a field goal that beat the Packers? I remember that.
Yeah. They played well.
They beat us October 9th, 2022, 27-22.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones was 21 for 27, 217, no touchdowns. He must have rushed one in. Nope.
No.
Wow. How did we lose this game, guys?
That's when y'all was
had
having
one
y'all little
touchdown.
puppy period. That's when Aaron Rodgers didn't trust none of the receivers last year.
That's where you're going to be saying Monday night. That's what you're going to be saying Monday night, Trevor.
222
How did
yards,
we lose this
2
game?
touchdowns, no interceptions. We lost. Aaron, what's going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the beginning
That's
of
gross.
I can't wait till next week, guys. I'm going to. It's going to be a glorious weekend. I'm speaking this into existence. It's going to happen, and I definitely appreciate both of you guys joining in. Even though Craig was ducking us, so he'll be back soon. We'll talk some Viking stuff when they actually win, probably next season.
Exactly.
But Trevor, where can everyone find you?
Yeah, Rev Trev K on Twitter and Kempner Sports on YouTube. Also, so I've been doing live streams on my Packers lately. I've gotten rejuvenated. I also been doing shows with Matt Ramage. We've moved it from fantasy football to Packers content. So him and Dakota, that's been a lot of fun together too. Usually they are on Tuesday nights, but not because I'm at the Canucks game. So
I say some great hockey talk as well.
Yeah. My hockey channel's blowing up. It's awesome. I'm loving it. Kempner Canucks.
Great stuff. Always great stuff. Appreciate you coming on. And Seventh Letter, where can everyone find you as well?
You can find me on X Twitter, 7th letter 4. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, same OG, and the top of the NFC North. I also want to send a shout out to my son. He let me come home tonight. He was diagnosed with leukemia last week, but he's on the mend. He's doing well. I'd like to thank everyone for the prayers. And just I thank y'all guys for letting me come on. And this is such a, you don't even know how much this is helping me through this. Like I just get to kind of take my mind off of everything that's going on. And I really appreciate you guys, man. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, we give each other a hard time and all that, but this is not life or death, like, serious health issues. And I think that's the fun thing. We can agree to disagree and give each other a hard time, but all that stuff is that's the stuff that matters.
Absolutely, man. So
yeah.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. And we're glad that he's doing okay today.
Yeah, man.
Well, once again, NFL Outdated on Twitter, X, on YouTube, and also I think Shocking the World this Sunday. Unfortunately, I'm going to be driving back from Iowa, so I'm not going to probably be able to comment as well. Heading home, see some family and everything like that. So so I won't be ducking you either, Seventh Letter. Nor will I be.
So no play-by-play this week, huh?
No.
None of that this week.
Oh, maybe I'll. No, I'm not going to text and drive. Maybe I'll have my 13-year-old drive. No, I won't do that. But looking forward to it, and I'll always enjoy you guys joining you guys with this. Once again, it's been the Freezin for NFC North Podcast, episode 70, week 13 review, week 14 preview, and lots to get to next week as well. Thanks again. Have a great weekend, guys.
All right, y'all. Y'all be safe.